All right, so today it is almost 9:30. We're in pre-market. This is our chart for Palantir. I've been looking at Palantir a lot this morning. Let's go ahead and move to our 1 day, 1 minute chart. You can see if we expand out, we've already gone down $6 today. This might be a big move on Palantir, people taking profits. So I believe I'm just going to go ahead and sell. I'm not going to wait until this afternoon at 1 or 2 to see what Palantir does. We're just going to go ahead and sell this morning 16 shares of Palantir. And we right now have less than 3 minutes, but what we're going to do, we're going to set this about $2 higher. We're going to set it at 153. We'll just set it at 153.10 to sell these 16. And it's quite possible that we might see a small spike up, but we're going to stay on the Palantir chart through opening. And if it just continues to fall, we'll pull this down and we'll trigger the sale. So right now I've got less than 3 minutes. I'm going to go off a video and be right back very shortly. All right, so we have roughly, somewhere probably a little less than 30 seconds. We'll see what Palantir does. Looking at the MACD, you can see when MACD drops down to the lowest end of the range, there usually is some type of little bounce back. We're there now. Yesterday's bounce back, or this morning's bounce back, we're looking at roughly $1. We also have the RSI, which is significantly below the oversold range. So we shouldn't, it's not going to be much longer now until we find out. Well, there we go. We're at market open. And let's see what price does. If it starts to fall, we're just going to drag our price down. And if it continues to rise up, we'll keep dragging our price up to try to capture as much of the gain as possible. Of course, in a second or two, it could just drop right back down to 152. And if it does, we'll move it. But we want to capture as much of this short-term opening range profits as we can. Maybe we'll just set it at 154. See what it's dancing around 153 to 154. We'll see who takes control here shortly. Palantir possibly could go up today, but I'm a little leery that it's people taking profits, so we'll just drop this down to 154 for now. Price is dropping back down a little bit. If it drops down to 153, we'll just go ahead and take it. All right, so there we go. We're at 153, and we sold it at 153.12. So it'll be interesting to see what Palantir does the rest of the day, but we got out of those 16 shares. We took our profits. We bought Palantir at 142.38 for those shares. So we just sold it. We'll just round it down to 152. We'll say $10 a share. So that's $160 that we made on that sale. So I will see you guys in several hours, but you'll see me in just seconds when we pick it back up this afternoon. Well, we've got some price action for today. It's a little after 1. We're starting out taking a look at Palantir since we started that pre-market, and I was a little concerned that it might fall, and I was vindicated. It fell, but then we had a nice rise back up, basically to where we sold it, and now it's starting possibly to go back down. So we'll watch Palantir over the next few days. We currently hold one book of 8 shares that we bought at 100 or 188.99, so $189. So we look forward to selling that maybe even later this year when price moves back up. I'm sure it probably will be. That's my best guess once we get through this round of profit taking. But we're going to go ahead and move back to our SPY chart, and we're going to move back to our 1 day candle, 3 month and 1 day. We have price still moving down today, even though it's gone back up from its lowest point where we've regained half of what we lost today. But we did blow through this consolidation zone, so we're going to get rid of this drawing, and we're going to extend this drawing out that level there, and we're going to draw this box out, bring this across, And we're going to get rid of this time frame, this line, remove this drawing, and there we go. So we've got two zones of consolidation. We've got this first zone here that price may fall to, and this may act as support. And if it breaks through there, the next stop would be somewhere down in this zone where we might see a rebound. Since this looks like it's most likely having to do with the Jerome Powell and Jackson Hole meeting, waiting for them, that information on Friday, so possibly at the same time some profit taking, this probably is the most likely zone of support. Without any major significant economic data that's negative, it's probably unlikely that it'll fall through this zone and drop all the way down here. But no matter what the S&P 500 does in its moves, we're ready for it. So with this downward move, we've got more than 10 stocks that we need to look at that hit our sell triggers or need to take a look at because they're still on our list or earnings. So we've got more than 10. Our first one that we're going to look at is AMD, Advanced Micro Devices. We already have a limit order for one of our shares, which we set from this particular drop. We had a price crossover, our fast moving average. We had confirmation the following day. But we had a cross yesterday of price action below our slow moving average, and we have continuation. So we're going to set another sell order. Coming in our watch list, we're selling one. Price is currently higher than all of our purchase prices of all three shares, but our lowest purchase price is 180.98. So we're going to take 10% of the 100. So that would be 10 cents. And we're going to add that to 180.98, which is 181.08. And that's what we're going to set our sell order at. 181.08. Good till cancel and extended hours. Confirm and send. And there's our sell order. Now, if price continues down and we have a fast-moving average cross over our slow-moving average tomorrow, then on Thursday, if we have continuation, we'll set a sell order for our last of the three shares. So the next one on our list is Google, GOOG. We had price crossover yesterday. We have continuation today. I currently have 4 shares, which is 4 books, 1 each. So we're going to move down to 1, and we're going to sell at $200, hopefully, and 51 cents. And that did not go, so we're just going to hit sell market. We sold that at 257. So I bought a Google at 193.34. Goldman Sachs is the next one, GS. Same thing. We absolutely have price moving down. We had price yesterday cross the slow moving average, which that is an alert, and we have continuation today. So we're going to look at our price. We've got some Goldman Sachs. We have one that we bought at 736. We have 2 shares and another one that we bought at 639. So we're going to be selling one of these. That's already set at 1. Come down in our active trader, see if it goes for 717.83. So 717.83 to 639. That's just shy of $80, so we'll call it $78 profit on the share of that Goldman Sachs. Unlike AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, if this continues down and we have the fast-moving average cross the slow-moving average, there's nothing I need to do because I already have a sell order placed the other day on that one share. And that was from the cross here when price moved past below the fast moving average. So moving on to our next, we're going to look at IWF. And we have IWF, which is an ETF for the Russell 1000. The Russell 1000 tracks the largest 1,000 by market cap companies in the U.S. So this is what's probably going to be standard for everything that we look at today. So I'm going to be moving pretty fast through these because it's probably going to be the same explanation. We had price yesterday, cross below a fast moving average. We have continuation from that. from this cross, but not only do we have that continuation, we had price fall below our slow moving average, and each of these price crosses is a separate alert, possibly a trigger to sell. So we are going to sell one of our IWF. We only currently have one, so we will be selling out. And I bought IWF at 416, and we will be selling at 438. So that is a difference of, we'll just call it $22. Another ETF is the IWM. Oh, that's a 1. IWM, not a 1WM. And that is the Russell 2000. Now the Russell 2000, that tracks the 2,000 largest small cap companies. But our price action for the IWM is the same as the previous. Again, we had price cross yesterday, fast moving average, continuation down. Unfortunately, all of the shares of IWM I bought at a higher price, so we will be going into the IWM and we will be creating a sell order. Now, this will be the last sell order that I actually do on video because it's a little time consuming. And I would rather show you the individual stocks that are being sold and bought than the actual placing of the sell order itself. Don't want the video to be any longer than they already are. So our last sell order on the video that we will make is for IWM. We're going to be selling one. We purchased IWM at 231.37. So from the 200s place, 10% of that is 20 cents. So we're going to add 20 cents to the 231.37, which is 231.57. So our price for our sell order is 231.57 cents. We are good till cancel, extended hours, and there's our sell order. So next on our list is Netflix. And we just purchased 2 shares of Netflix several days ago. Now, if you've been watching my videos, you may have noticed that on all of these charts, there's no previous buy and sell bubbles that's appearing. If you didn't see yesterday's video, that's because I transferred all of the funds and shares out of the other account into this account, so none of that data shows up. This is a brand new account, which is why we have 2 shares and it shows a 0. Because it doesn't have the purchase price within this account that was made in the other account that is now closed. But if you look at our price action, say it with me, we have price action crossed below our fast moving average, and we have price what? We have price continuing down, so we are going to place a sell order because we purchased Netflix at $1241.10. So we're going to place a sell order on one of those, and that will be off video. And since the first digit is in the thousands place, instead of going up 10 or 20 cents, we're going to add $1 to it. So our sell order is for $1 higher than our purchase price. Next that we're going to look at is the triple Qs, which is a NASDAQ index. And look at our price action. Say it with me. We had price action move down below our fast moving average, and we have continuation of that. So we're going to be selling one of our shares. We currently have 4. That's 4 books of 1 share each. And we'll just come down into our active trader. Hopefully we'll get it at 464.89. Looks like we didn't get it at that. I'll try 464.83. Didn't get that, so we'll just hit sell market. Price is moving pretty quickly. So we got that at 564.85. I believe I was just saying 464. So that is a $28 profit on that one share. I'm also going to place a sell order for one that I purchased at 573.86 off camera. That's done, and since 5 is the digit in the hundreds place, we added 50 cents to our purchase price. Our next one is SMH, another ETF. And here we go. We have what? 1, 2, 3. Say it with me. We have price crossed below our fast moving average, we have continuation, but not only that, we had price move below our slow moving average. So tomorrow, if this continues down and we have shares that we purchased at a lower price than whatever price it might be tomorrow, not only will we sell today, we will sell tomorrow as well. For now, I've got the price is 287. And I have 2 shares that I bought at we'll just say 252. So we're going to pump that up to 2 in our active trader. We're selling at 287. We'll just hit 287.01. Well, we don't want 4. Cancel 2 orders. We'll hit sell market. And we sold that at 287. So I had 2 shares that I bought at 252. So that is a difference of, that'd be 272, 82. So $35. So that's $35 for 2 shares, a $70 profit there. Now tomorrow, if price does continue down, we will not be selling. Once I have sold half of my shares, which when I max out with SMH, it's 8 shares. Once I get down to half of the shares for that particular stock, I will not sell anymore until we actually have the fast moving average cross the slow moving average with confirmation the following day. We typically can have days like this. We can have price move down and then come back up, but price totally for the fast moving average never really crosses. So we don't want to take the opportunity and possibly sell too early. Okay, we have 3 more left on the actual alerts that triggered sell possibilities. The next one is SoFi, which is on online bank. We have it. There it is again. Price crossed below the fast moving average. We have price continuation. I currently have 72 shares, and with SoFi, I am maxed out at my 4 books at 18 shares in each book. I currently have 36 of those shares are lower. We purchased those at roughly $14. So we're going to be selling 18 shares right now. We're just going to sell 1 book. So 18 shares. See if we get it at we'll just drop it down 22.27, and there we go. So from 14 to 22, we're looking at $8 profit on 18, which is roughly $140 in profit on that sale. I'm going to go ahead and remove this zone of consolidation. I set this up when we had price moving down back here last week sometime, and I was using it to show that if this price were to drop down into this zone, when it moved back out, we would probably buy, and if it moved out of the zone, we would probably be in a major sell situation. So let's just go ahead and remove this drawing, and we'll go on to our next stop, which is SPXL, which is a triple leveraged ETF that's indexed to the S&P 500. And yet again, we've got the same price action moving below our fast moving line, our fast moving average, and we have price continuation, downward pressure today. So we do have 3 shares. I currently have 12. I am maxed out with my 4 books for SPXL, and that's 3 shares each. So we're going to sell 1 book, which is 3 shares. And the book we're going to sell, I bought at $183.27. See if that goes. It did not. We'll try another one down at 187.05. Not. We'll sell market. Here we go. We sold at 187. We sold 3 shares from the ones that I bought at 183. So a $12 profit on that. Now, the last one that was triggered was another ETF, XTL. That is a telecommunications ETF. I'm currently maxed out with 4 books at 2 shares each. So we have price moving below our fast moving average, price continuation down on today. We're going to take this to 2. We're just going to sell at market. We sold at 125.18. Yep, 125.18, actually 19. And the shares we sold, we purchased at, we'll just round it up to 121. So $4 for 2 shares. That's an $8 profit there. Our last one that we're going, well, that is the last one that was actually triggered by our sell alerts. So with that list taken care of, now we'll move on to our previous day's list. And the first one we're going to look at is XLU, one that we looked at yesterday, but we did not have good continuation. Here we have price moving down, but it went up today. So this is actually a buy. So we're going to move on to, we'll cross that off our list. Next one on the list is one that we took care of this morning at the very beginning of this video, is Palantir. And we looked at it again when we came back in. Price is moving a little bit higher. So we'll just move on to Moody's, which is MCO. We have price crossed. We had a continuation, which I did sell on this particular day. Apparently, I just forgot to cross it off of my previous list. So we'll take care of that now. All right, so I crossed that off, and I saw that I had 3 or 4 others on the list that I didn't need to go through that I forgot to cross off over the yesterday. But I did pull up Monster Beverage. For the people who have been following me and watching these videos, you'll know that we have a zone here of consolidation. You know that I sold half the shares here at earnings. You know I have 6 shares remaining. And when we have price move down out of this zone, I may consider selling out of that, or I'll wait until the following day to make sure we have continuation. But we're looking to see when price moves below if we're going to sell. And that's our sell list that we had to take care of our previous orders. And the last thing we have to look at, we have our earnings tomorrow morning. We don't have anything for this afternoon, but for tomorrow morning, we have Walmart going to earnings. And currently, we are in an uptrend. I have 18 shares, which is 3 books of 6. When I maxed out, I would have 4 books. Now, if I actually had 4 books of 6 shares each, I would be looking to sell 2 books to make sure that I only have 2 in case price goes up. But I want to sell half in case price goes down. I'd rather have lower gains than greater losses. But since I only have 3 books, I can't take half, so I'm only going to take 1 book. I take half rounded up. So I always err in reference to having which direction to have my books. I always err on the side of price possibly moving up. So I always want to have at least 2 books after I sell at price earnings or at earnings. So I'm going to sell 6. We'll see if they sell at 102.30. See if they sell at 102.26. They are not, so we'll just sell at market. 102.30 is what we sold those for. So I have 6 shares that are currently higher than the price at this point, and I have 12 that are lower, and those I bought at $99.55. So we're looking at, we'll just round it to $3. So we'll just round our overall profit to $15. We'll round it down. Now that's everything on our sell list. We've taken care of that. That is the most that I've had to sell since I started making these videos showing you my actual trades. So if you are a investor and you have some of these stocks that we sold today, you may want to consider selling for the short term. But with that, we're going to go ahead and move into our buy lists. All right, so the first one we're going to look at is an ETF, XLF. And we have price move and we had our fast moving average. Both of those moved above our slow moving average yesterday, and we have a continuation in price. XLF is an ETF for financials. I currently have 12 positions, and for the XLF, I like to have 24. And since we are right here at the cross, whenever we have price action where our fast moving average crosses our slow moving average, that's when I make sure I max out in my books. So I like to have 4 books, each one of 6 in this XLF. So we're going to purchase 12. So add 10 and add 2 more. And we're going to purchase these at $52.76, hopefully. And we did. So that takes care of those 12. So now I have 4 books, 6 each, maxed out at 24 shares. Okay, the next stock on our buy alerts that was triggered is another ETF, XLB. And XLB is an ETF for materials used for manufacturing purposes. Same thing. We had price and we had the fast moving average cross yesterday. We do have somewhat of a continuation. We opened higher than yesterday's close. However, we have prices moving back down. Now, XLB, I currently have 6 shares, but we have an indicator here that says that it's possible that our moving averages, our fast moving average is lower than our slow moving average on our 1-month chart. So let's take a look at that. There's our monthly candle, and we do. And I try not to buy anything when we have the fast moving average lower than the slow moving average. So we will not buy anything. At minimum, I like to have 1 book, but since I already have 3 books of 2, we're not going to buy in. We are not going to buy any XLB. So the last one that actually on buy that triggered an alert is Roku. And we're not going to have a great deal of buy opportunities when the market is moving down. So we're going to move back to our 1-day candle. If you haven't seen my videos before and you're not familiar with the candlestick charts, that last chart was each candle was a month long, where this chart that I trade on and look at every day, these are daily candles. So this is 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You've probably gotten that by now from my description and of going over my process on when I sell a stock. So with Roku, we had our fast moving average cross above our slow moving average yesterday. We do have price continuation, sort of, but not really, because we opened higher. And even though we went lower, we're opening lower than yesterday's close. So we don't truly have a true price continuation up. So that coupled along with, it looks like we are in a downward trend, possibly. So with this evidence of possible a little bit longer downward trend, just because of the slope here of the slow moving average, and mainly because we had price action that is not a continuation up, we're not going to buy Roku. We're just going to pass on that. And if you are a trader and you're watching my videos and you have Roku and you were part of this run and you didn't sell out yet here, you may want to take the opportunity and possibly sell, since it looks like this might be a second opportunity to sell if you haven't already. So with that, we're going to move on to our previous buy lists, if there are any that I didn't buy yesterday. And it looks like we have 2. First one is an ETF, XLU for utilities. We had price cross several days ago. Not only did we have price cross the fast moving average several days ago, but 2 days ago it crossed below the slow moving average. We did not sell because we didn't have continuation down. We actually had a reversal. Even though this is a downward move today, it is a continuation from yesterday. Yesterday's movement up. We currently have price right around the close of yesterday after going up higher to almost $87, was pushed down, and then it's moving back up. Even right now, it's moving up. So we currently have 12 shares of XLU. I max out with 4 books of 4 each, so that would be 16 shares. So we only have 3 books right now. Utilities, if investors are taking money out of tech stocks and putting it into safer, more stable, they're considered defensive stocks, utilities, and this ETF will be one where some money might move. And not only is that a reason why this might go up, but it's a utility stock, and all of the AI that's necessary is going to require more and more and more electricity. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to buy 4. All right, that didn't go, so all right, that did not go. So we are going to just buy market. And there we go, it finally took. So that is the 2 from yesterday, but we have one from the day before, which is UDOW, which is another ETF. And this is with the indexes, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is 30 stocks. Now what we're looking at, the reason we haven't bought, we had price move across 4 days ago or 3 days ago. However, we do not have price continuation up. Price is slowly moving down. So we will look at this again tomorrow. And if we have price movement up, then we'll go ahead and buy. But we do not at this moment, so we are not going to be purchasing UDOW. And that is everything on our sell list. And that's everything on our buy list. And if you're following me, then just know that this is not expert advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just showing you every day my trades and showing you the success of my trades. All right, we are at the end of the day. You can see price continued down. However, it did get pushed back up. So price is hovering right around this consolidation area here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. But let's take a look at our activities for today and yesterday. So yesterday, since this was a new account, I was not able to show you the realized gains for yesterday. But for yesterday, it is $423.60. For today, because we had so many sells, we are looking at $1,190.87. Now this portfolio performance is from August 18th of the old account. The new account is yet to be able to calculate my current return. So the S&P 500 portfolio, or the portfolio performance compared to the S&P 500, we were just around performing 6% better, just a little shy of that. So for the remainder of the videos, for the remainder of the year, I anticipate having this rate of return on the old account, and then we'll just find out, either take the difference or the sum of the return of this particular account and add or subtract them together to get the total. So for now, we are done. These are our portfolio performance, our trades for the day. And if price continues to go down, we will be able to sell more stocks and sell them at a profit as well. We have quite a few stocks that joined the S&P 500 on this 3-month run up. So we will see what price action does tomorrow. And over here we have our sell list. We sold Palantir, Google, Goldman Sachs, ETF IWF, QQQ, SMH, SoFi, SPXL, XTL, and Walmart. We set up sell orders for AMD, IWM, NFLX for Netflix, and QQQ. And we bought XLF and XLU, and I ended up buying American Express as well. That I did not record, but I did want to let you know that I did make that purchase. Well, that is another video down. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.